going on, CDL fans? Today has been a pretty crazy day in the community, and I wanted to make a little video talking about what happened, but then I also want to look at the bomb spots and the hardpoint hill rotations for the maps coming to BO6. The game launches really soon. I mean, people in New Zealand or who do the New Zealand trick are going to be playing pretty shortly here, so we got a bunch of information about things coming to the game that I want to talk about. But like I said, today's one of those days where we got a bunch of news that we expected, but maybe didn't expect to get on this exact day. Clayster, of course, as you can see here, announced that he is retiring from competitive COD. Obviously, he's got 3 rings, 8 team tournaments, X Games gold medal, Champs MVP back in AW, 1.2 million in earnings. I mean, Clay is probably top 5 for pretty much everybody. I'm sure there's a small percentage of people that might try to put like Simp over Clay or something of the sort, but I think Clay undoubtedly is top 5 all the time. I mean, really sad to see this guy go. I mean, when I started watching COD back in 2011, he was competing, and I watched this guy compete throughout like my childhood, man. Like, I grew up watching Clay on stage, so it is pretty bittersweet to see him go, but he said he's gonna, talk about what's coming soon for him. We'll see what he ends up doing, if he ends up on the desk, if he ends up just on the broadcast in general as a caster. Maybe he joins an org to do content. Who really knows? But really sad to see Clay go. And then to make it even worse, Lamar Accuracy has also announced his retirement today. I mean, 5 tournament wins, CWL Dallas MVP back in 2018, 500K in tournament earnings. So 2 of the old head OG legends in this scene have already retired. Now, obviously, some people might say Lamar is not a legend, but genuinely 5 tournament wins and an MVP is something most COD pros are never going to achieve. Like, most people are never going to be a pro, let alone achieve what Lamar did in his career. He said he's also going to talk about what's coming next pretty soon here. It's rumored he's going to be coaching C9. So, I mean, 2 staple OGs to the scene retiring on the same day today is honestly kind of sad. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do going forward, but it's definitely sad to sort of see, like, I think Slasher and Attach are like the only OGs really left at this point, so it's kind of crazy to see how it's all playing out. On top of that, we got a bunch of roster announcements as well today. The Boston Breach announced their team of Purge, Snoopy, Awakening, Cammy. We obviously expected this. Shawnee as the coach, Magic here as the assistant. The Ravens also announced their team of Gwyn, Slasher, Tej, and Vivid, another rumored team that we knew was going to come. Vivid playing the flex role on this team, according to CDL Scrim Intel's report from a couple weeks ago. This is the team that I actually think could be pretty good. It's really going to kind of just depend on, I think, how Vivid adapts to that other role, which I really think he could do well either way. We also got some jersey announcements today. The FAZE jersey here, all blacked out. I've seen mixed reactions about this. I think it's kind of fire. I mean, I'm not going to buy it because, like, I'm not going to spend $100 on a FaZe jersey. I'm not a FaZe fan. But I actually think this is super heat. Like, if LAT released this jersey, obviously you make it say LA Thieves and put the logo on it, I would buy it. I think it's super dope. But I definitely think this jersey, mixed reactions, I like it. Like I said, though, Black Ops 6 launches in like 12, 14 hours in New Zealand. A lot of people are going to be playing the game. And with people already finding ways to get into the game, we got information about hardpoint hills and SND bomb sites that I want to talk about. And all this information was tweeted out by D-Real. So shout out to D-Real. Hopefully he gets a coaching or some sort of spot, because this guy absolutely deserves to still be involved in the league. Obviously, I think he's one of the best coaches. But looking at hardpoint locations on every map minus Scud and Subsonic, he has here. So first up, looking at Vorkuta, this is the snow map. This map, it does have 5 hills. Some of the hills you're going to see on these things only have 4 hills they reuse, like Hill 1 and Hill 4. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Looks okay. We really got to see how big these maps are overall. A lot of these maps are about medium size. A lot are similar to maybe that of the size of Raid. But some of the maps also are pretty small, so kind of how they play out a 4v4 setting is going to be important with the pacing of this game. But just looking at the overview of Vorkuta, honestly, this one's not too bad, relatively spaced out. Then we have Vault. This is a map that I think people think is going to be pretty good. Only 4 hills, so again, we typically like to see 5 hills, I would say, in our hardpoint maps here for the CDL. But this is another one that looks decent. Skyline, this is the one with the mansion that was on the beta that everyone really enjoyed. It looks like the pool, or technically just outside the pool, is going to be a hard point. I think this was in the beta. Pretty sure you could play hard point on this map in the beta. And this one people seem to have enjoyed. Rewind, this one was also in the beta. This map is pretty big. It's got a lot of shit going on. Pardon my language, in the inside building here, because it's like a shopping center or like strip mall type deal. Then we have Red Card. I think this one is like the biggest map coming at launch, but somehow these hills look pretty close together. Now, obviously, like from 1 to 2, whoever spawns on this side is probably at the advantage. But then 3's across and then 4's back. So I feel like it kind of follows the typical, formula that we'd see. But Despite this map being really big, these hard points seem relatively close or like condensed in the middle. Then we have Protocol. This one just doesn't look good. I mean, this one just doesn't look good straight up. I mean, the small ones are obviously going to be like over here on the sides. I think Hill 3 here is like in water. I think that might be in the water. I honestly don't even know because we haven't seen this map just yet, but this one does not look good. And we have Derelict. This one was in the beta with the trains. We're not playing this on the competitive level. Who are we kidding? And then we have Lowtown. This is the one with a ton of water in it. We've seen maps with water in it in the past, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. But this one is another one that just looks a little bit on the small side, I think. Hill number 2 is super in favor of probably the team that's going to spawn over here. At the end of the day, the mini-maps aren't going to do it justice. We need to see how it actually plays out in a 4v4 setting. And then here is Payback. Really the thing to me, and I mean, maybe I'm just not realizing this is also the thing in previous games. You guys can let me know in the comments. All the hills feel super close together. Like, I feel like even on this map that, based on the mini-map, looks like it's not, you know, it's not huge, but it looks like it's not like, you know, obviously like the size of Shipment. I feel like you would think like, Hill number 2 could be like back in this corner, like over here a little bit more. Like hill number 5 could be like over here a little bit more. Like, I don't know. I just feel like they're all really condensed to the center. Believe that center spot here is a building. So it looks like they're mostly kind of in the building or right next to the building. You guys let me know if maybe I'm a little off base on what our past hills used to be, but they all just feel super condensed. And then now we got the SND bomb sites on every map, minus Scud and Subsonic, because those won't be being played. Here on Protocol, this one doesn't look bad in my opinion, I think. I mean, you got a bomb site directly in the middle, and then you got one that's probably right next to the defender spawn, so obviously the one that's going to be super hard. No one's ever going to go to this bomb site, which I feel like kind of could make the map not play as well, because if there's really only one bomb site to contest, especially when it's in the middle, it's pretty easy to cover this bomb site while also not allowing anyone to flank you. So this one, I don't know if this one's going to work. And we got Derelict. We saw this in the beta. We didn't see Search and Destroy, but we obviously saw the train map. I just don't see this one end up being in the pool. Then we have Lowtown, the one with the water. Once again, I think this right here is a building. I guess this is a building, right? I don't think this is, unless this is out of bounds play, but I'm pretty sure it's a building. If it is a building, maybe this works, but this this A bomb site's in a very weird spot. With the water also right next to the B bomb site, I can imagine how trolly and how much people are going to not enjoy this, but we'll have to see how this one plays out. Also, I'm going to be watch partying kickoff tournaments. They do a lot of kickoff tourneys when the game first drops, especially in Search and Destroy all the pro players. I'm going to be watch partying that from the time the game kicks off for the first couple weeks. So if you want to watch those with me, I'll be live on here and on Twitch, which is linked below. Then we got the Payback bomb sites. This one, I mean, you got one bomb inside, you got one bomb outside. I do believe Payback is supposedly smaller than it looks, according to a video I watched from Exclusive Ace. We'll have to see how this one actually is in size, but small maps can work for SND on the competitive level. So maybe this map could end up being something like a Rio we saw this past year in MW3. Next up, we got Red Card. This is the stadium map, the one that's really, really big. I'm guessing the defenders spawn over here and the attackers spawn over here. I mean, this one looks like the biggest map in the game, like I said earlier. It looks like you got a lot of moving to do, a lot of work to do to get over here as an attacker. So this could be a heavy defensive-sided map, potentially. But the fact that it's large adds the possibility for, you know, hitting a flank or outplaying your opponent, things like that. Maybe nade lineups could also be really cool on this type of map, that since it's so big. So we'll have to see how this works out and how the lines of sight are, especially like here in the middle. Is this super long? Are they going to want to use smokes, snipers? We'll have to see how it works. But this one, it's hard to tell just based on the picture. Then we have Rewind. Rewind, another map we played in the beta. We didn't play Search, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I just feel like the way this map is laid out with how much is going on, like in this center building, and like all just the random little angles there are on this map. I didn't really enjoy playing it in the beta myself, but in a 4v4 setting, it plays different. We got Skyline, the mansion map. Once again, this is another one that could potentially be one of the small maps that ends up working. I mean, with the whole underground system with like the bookshelf you can move, I kind of wonder if the pros are gonna think that's too cheesy or they're gonna let that go into the game. So we'll have to see what they think about that. We have Vault, another one that looks like it's probably gonna be small, maybe a little bit medium, but mostly small. The bomb site over here is way out in the open, and this bomb site looks like, I think it's inside, or I can't actually tell, to be honest, because there's also this dotted line, which is maybe, is that an underground or is that a second floor? I'm not honestly sure. So one bomb site inside, one bomb site outside maybe could work. And then lastly, we have Vorkuta, which is the snow map. I don't see this working, to be honest. I mean, both of these bomb sites are way out in the open. It looks like it'd be impossible to plant on these, especially if, like, there's power positions back here, maybe, or, like, back here on a crate where you can kind of just watch the bomb and it's, like, impossible to get it down. So we'll have to see, but this one looks a little tough. But yeah, you guys let me know, what do you think about the maps? How are you feeling about the hardpoint rotations and the SND bomb sites we saw there from D-Real? Shout out to him once again. Shout out to Clayster and Accuracy, of course. I hope they enjoy their retirement. Those guys had great careers, and I hope that after their career, what they're going to do next is even better. But yeah, like I said, make sure to sub to the channel, follow the Twitch link down below. We're going to be playing the game. We're going to be watch partying. I'm going to be playing with you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun when Black Ops 6 launches. In just like a day and a half for most of us here in North America. With all that being said, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next one.